So in the wake of the Tyson Fury Tom Schwartz fight, which is coming up the weekend, Tyson Fury has given an interview with Boxing Scene, and he's touched on several things in this interview. The first of which I'm going to get to is the fact that he feels out of the top heavyweights, which most people feel the top heavyweights will be Dylan White, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, and Andy Ruiz, no particular order. He's the only one who is unbeaten, in his opinion. He feels that Deontay Wilder lost the fight with them guys when they fought back there before Christmas in December, and that he actually feels, and this is what he said in this interview, that he feels that actually going 12 rounds was a bad thing, was a concern, because he expected to get Deontay Wilder out of there a lot earlier. Okay, so he says, actually, here's what he says: going 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder doesn't give me any confidence. It actually makes me more concerned. I thought I could get rid of Deontay Wilder within 6 rounds, so having to go 12 with him wasn't great. I should have done better. So that's what Tyson Fury says. He actually feels as though going into that fight that he should have got Wilder out of there in 6 rounds. Instead, he went 12 rounds. Most people, including myself, felt that he won the fight and won it by a couple of rounds, but obviously we got the draw. Tyson Fury, he went 12 rounds. He said that's a concern. He was dropped twice in that fight. That's more of a concern. Be dropped by Deontay Wilder, there's no shame. But yeah, he said he wanted to go 6. He ended up going 12 and was down twice. He's also speaking about the fact that he feels that he's been inactive. So this is his first fight in 7 months, and he feels that's a long time to be out of the ring, considering he's coming off a 2.5 year layoff prior to that. And he only had 2 fights last year before he fought Wilder. And neither of those guys were necessarily ideal opponents. Who was the guy? Sefa Safiri, less than stellar opponent, and Pianetta. Pianetta, at one stage would have been European level. This stage probably fringe European level at that. He's also talking about weights and what weight he expects to come in his fight with Tom Schwartz. He's saying that against Wilder, he was 17 stone, 12 pounds. He was in around the 250s, if you want to talk about it in pounds. It was in the 250s. He's actually saying he's a stone heavier. So he's saying that he reckons he's going to come in at 18 stone, 12 pounds. He says he's put on a stone of muscle in all the right places. Now, we often hear heavyweights say they expect to come in heavier than they were before. Some say they expect to come in lighter than they were before. Like, I remember, I think it was Eddie Hearn said he expected Joshua to come in lighter against Takam than he did against Klitschko. He was actually heavier against Takam, believe it or not. So we often hear, heavyweights say, I'm going to come in heavier, I'm going to come in lighter. At the end of the day, we know when they stand in the scales. And the last point I'm going to touch on here is basically Tyson Fury insinuating that he is the only undefeated heavyweight out of the top contenders, out of the top guys, okay? And this is what he had to say here. Now, it's kind of digs at Deontay Wilder, but he's mentioned all the top guys, okay? So I'm going to read it out here. So he says, Deontay Wilder's living in my reputation and the fight he had with me, he said. I'm headlining in Vegas, and he's saying I want the rematch with Tyson to try to get that loss out of his mind. He knows he was beaten soundly. I'm enjoying my life, thinking about Tom Schwartz, and every time Wilder looks in the mirror, he knows he lost that fight. I'm the only unbeaten heavyweight at the top. Wilder's lost, Joshua's lost, and Ruiz is lost. They've all lost apart from me. I haven't agreed anything past Tom Schwartz. That's the end of the article. That's what Tyson Fury had to say. So he's insinuating that no matter, even though it's on record as a draw, he feels that Deontay Wilder lost their fight back in December. And I would echo that statement. I think that Tyson Fury did win that fight personally. And I picked Deontay Wilder to win that fight. If you want to go back and watch some of them videos, I said it from the start that I was going with Deontay Wilder to win that fight. Tyson Fury, in my opinion, won that fight. But Tyson Fury can't necessarily claim that he's undefeated. Because if you go back to early on in Tyson Fury's career, he had a very controversial decision in the first John McDermott fight. Many people, I think it was on Sky, I think you can go and watch it, felt that Fury lost that fight, and with a different referee, he may well have lost that fight and his own might have been gone years ago. Anthony Joshua, we know, shock loss to Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz, I went back and actually watched the Joseph Parker fight. Now, I watched that fight several years ago, and I didn't watch it live, but I watched the replay of it later on that day, and I actually felt that Joseph Parker won that fight. I thought it was close, but I didn't really see any controversy with it. Going back and looking at it now, I definitely can make a strong case for Andy Ruiz winning that fight, and I definitely think that Andy Ruiz maybe should have been aggrieved that the decision didn't go his way. If you had Parker winning, that's fine. If you had Ruiz winning, that's fine. But a different set of judges, or that fight may be in the States, Andy Ruiz mightn't have a 1 next to his record. He might still have his O. So I don't think there's any heavyweight in the top 5, if you include Dylan White, who can, make a claim that they're perfect, that they're unbeaten, this, that, and the other. Many people feel that Deontay Wilder shouldn't be unbeaten anymore. They feel like he lost the Tyson Fury fight, me and myself included. But Tyson Fury, he should be very lucky that he was able to get past John McDermott in the first fight. Different referee, he might not be beaten. He might have been beaten that night, I should say. So, at the end of the day, this is heavyweight boxing. Anything can happen. Do I expect him to lose this weekend? Definitely not. Definitely not. I went and watched the Senad Gashi-Tom Schwartz fight. I would be amazed if this fight lasted the distance. Seriously. I'm not have to say Tom Schwartz is necessarily chinny, but I can imagine he's going to look for a way out of this fight. I would be amazed if he goes the distance in this fight. Seriously. So I don't expect Fury to have any trouble with Tom Schwartz in this fight. If he rematches Wilder, would I pick Fury to win? Yes. But do I think it's a foregone conclusion? No. We saw what happened in the first fight. It could easily happen in the second fight. Let me know what you think down below. What are your thoughts on Tyson Fury saying he's the only unbeaten heavyweight out of the top 5? Did you watch the John McDermott first fight? Do you think I'm right in saying that he lost that fight? Let me know down below. Let me know what you think. Hope you liked the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and as always, I'll talk to you after.